Top 10 funniest moments. Core cam. A and E. Woo.
Miami-Dade Courthouse, where Judge Catherine Pooler's presiding over a bond hearing. The defendant, Calvin Lloyd Griffith, allegedly broke into a local school and stole an employee's car. Griffith was arrested and is here on charges of grand theft, burglary, and trespassing.
Dude.
He also violated his probation from a previous car theft.
Dumbass.
Calvin Lloyd Griffin Jr. on page 12. Good morning. Mr. Griffin is charged with burglary,
Dude.
petty theft, grand theft of a vehicle,
What's
and
with that
trespass.
face?
You're on page 12.
And theft?
What's with his face?
Good morning.
What's with that face? What's with that fucking dorky ass face,
Morning.
bro?
Mr. Griffin is charged with burglary, petty theft, grand theft of a vehicle, and trespass. And he's on probation.
He's out on probation, Your Honor.
Yeah, I'm on probation. I'm on papers.
Okay.
Officer be here anyway because I smoke weed and cocaine. So the officer, I smoke weed and cocaine.
The court officials decide to cut Griffith's mic off to prevent him from talking over everyone.
So the officer would.
Okay. You're Calvin Griffin?
Mr. Senator has the button pressed.
Oh, okay.
As Judge Pooler continues looking over the paperwork, Griffiths continues to try to get the attention of the judge.
Dude, hello?
But with Judge Pooler unable to hear Griffith, he decides to try a different approach.
Hello? Throw it back, King. There you go. Take that ass, cuz.
Not impressed
Shake it.
with Griffith's twerking abilities,
That face. Why?
the judge moves on with the case.
State is requesting that Your Honor set the bond, but reset the case in division tomorrow because his actions violate his probation.
Judge Pooler agrees with the state attorney and sets Griffith's bond at $18,500.
Damn.
And there's a stay-away order from Miami Edison Senior High. If you should get out, do not go back there. You're not a student anymore. Okay? Thank you for coming in.
As the judge moves on to the next, less entertaining defendant, Judge Pooler looks back fondly on her time with Calvin Griffith.
I want the last guy to come back and teach us how to dance. Pretty smooth guy.
Valentine.
All right, Nelson Walker.
Coming in with a jersey.
Next, we're in Miami-Dade County, where Nelson Walker is charged with a crime where the evidence
jersey.
may be, as they say in the law, in plain view.
All right, you're charged with stealing a Dolphin jersey.
No way. No way. Can't make that shit up.
Judge Ward seems a bit suspicious of the situation, and when she begins asking Walker about the Dolphins jersey he's wearing, he's got an answer.
This ain't the one, young.
No?
No, ma'am. It show on that I ain't took no jersey. I ain't took now jersey.
Walker first insists the Dolphins jersey he's wearing is not the one he allegedly stole,
This ain't the one, young.
and claims he didn't steal a jersey at all.
It show on that I ain't took no jersey. I ain't took now jersey.
The judge then turns to the public defender for his take. But he decides to raise an issue regarding an inconsistency on the police report.
Public defender.
As to Mr. Walker, respectfully, Your Honor, I'm going to be raising a probable cause.
As to what?
As to this being a felony, because the allegations are an observation of observing the defendant and co-defendant put on a Dolphin hats. The officer says A and then says hats, so there's an issue as to whether it's two hats or one hat.
Walker seems on board with the public defender's approach.
The officer says A and then says hats, so there's an issue as to whether it's two
Let's
hats
do
or
it.
one hat.
Let's go with that.
Despite the semantics
Let's go with
issue,
that.
the judge orders Walker, who has 29 prior felonies on his record, held on $5,000 bond. Weeks later, Miami-Dade prosecutors declined to press charges against Walker, and he's released. But the judge did order Walker to stay away from the Dolphins stadium. Perhaps not seeing his beloved team play in person is punishment enough.
Dude, let's be real here. Not the average. This guy can't afford to go to a game. This guy can't afford it. That's not even a punishment. Bro, what? It's not a punishment. Man can't afford that.
Next, we're in the Broward County Bond Court in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Mr. Shanus, Abraham Arthur Shanus, and I have been legally divorced for 31 years,
Okay.
and I have the papers to prove it.
This is 80-year-old Dolores Shinus.
I need more
She landed herself in jail for resisting arrest after violating a restraining order filed by her ex-husband.
We both resided at 20 Bend, and he paid for the apartment entirely. His assumption is because he paid for the apartment, he's entitled to do as he pleases.
I can't get in the middle of who owns the apartment.
I know, that's not the point.
My
The point I'm
is,
telling you,
I need to keep you away from him, all right?
I haven't bothered him for 31 years. Why would I bother him now?
Rather than actually getting up in arms, Judge John Hurley decides to release Shinus on a personal recognizance bond, so long as she agrees to stay away from her ex-husband.
You are not allowed to call him, text him, email him. You are to stay 500 feet from him at all times. That's where he lives, where he works, anywhere in between. Ma'am, you're getting a second chance on this case. I don't particularly feel like keeping an 80-year-old woman in the jail who has no criminal record. But this is your second warning. Don't go around him again.
I swear to God and all that's holy on a stack of Bibles, I will never go near him, talk to him, call him, or
What was the
even look
first
at
thing
him.
you were going to swear on besides the Bibles?
All that's holy.
What?
I don't remember.
Oh.
What?
All that's holy.
What?
All that's holy. Yeah.
Oh, all that's holy. Yes, sir. I didn't recognize your twang.
The senior's sassy remark catches Judge Hurley off guard.
Ma'am, have you ever thought of doing a stand-up routine? Have you ever thought about that?
I did. If you pay me good money, sweetheart, I'll be there. I'm really short of funds.
Ma'am, I got to tell you something. You seem like you have a great wit about you.
I do, sir.
Yeah, so...
I mean, sweetheart, that's the only thing I have.
I've been called sweetheart in this courtroom.
Does that mean you're taking me for breakfast?
Let me ask you something, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
How have I done as a judge today? So far, how am I doing?
Not bad, but you could do better.
Can we get a drum roll with this?
With the case already wrapped up, the only thing the judge, the public defender, and all the other inmates are waiting for is one final punchline.
I got to tell you, you brighten my day, ma'am. All right?
That's what the last guy said, and then he sued me.
Dude, oh my god, I love this lady. I love this lady. Oh my god, 10 out of 10.
Sit down and be quiet.
Shut up.
Our next story takes us to Las Vegas, Nevada, where Judge Douglas Herndon's presiding. The defendant is Gary Walters, who's on parole for various financial crimes. He's in court today over restitution he was ordered to pay as part of his sentence.
I've been making my payments. I've been on Social Security. I've been paying what I can in restitution.
Okay.
All of a sudden, he says, you got to pay $26,000 a month.
As Walters makes his case, there's a man standing a few feet behind him.
The biggest
And the
ball
judge
spot I've
takes
ever
notice.
seen.
You're going to have to go back to the original court and then possibly...
Hey, hold on a second. Who's this guy staring at me over here?
This is Kim Blandino.
I'm a co-plaintiff in the civil case.
Kim Blandino has nothing to do with this criminal case, and he's not even a lawyer. But he is a co-plaintiff in a civil suit that Walters has filed against his former attorney. Blandino has earned a dubious reputation for filing frivolous motions and joining civil suits where he has no affiliation. But Judge Herndon is not about to let Blandino disrupt his courtroom.
Okay, are you an attorney?
No, not.
Then you need to sit down and quit staring at me like somehow you need to talk to me or whatever.
I do need to.
Pardon?
Can I make a record?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to make a record about you in a minute, but you need to sit down and be quiet because you're not a plaintiff or a defendant in my criminal case. You're not an attorney. You can't appear in my criminal case and act like an attorney, so sit down and be quiet. Mr. Walters, go ahead.
Walters continues, but when Blandino physically reacts to Judge Herndon's comments, the judge has a few choice words for him and his habit of acting like an attorney.
You know what? Let me tell you something. You want to act like an act like an but I'm telling you, that gets you nowhere in court. And you know what else gets you nowhere in court? Sitting in the audience of a court while a judge is engaging with somebody and shaking your head and being all demonstrative. So get out.
I'm sorry, it was inadvertent.
No, it wasn't inadvertent. Don't give me that. It's not inadvertent. It's never, get out. It's never inadvertent when you come in and act all disrespectful to people.
Blandino exits, but feeling disrespected, he later files a motion to have Judge Herndon disqualified from the case. The motion was denied.
State Nevada versus Kim Dennis Blandino.
18 months later, Blandino's back in court, but this time as a defendant. He's been charged with extortion and is under house arrest.
Good shit.
He has a hearing before Judge James Bixler, who's aware of Blandino's history as a wannabe litigator. Blandino's representing himself, but the court has appointed Steve Alter as co-counsel, which puts Blandino in a combative mood.
Mr. Alvin, will you accept appointment as standby counsel?
I have an objection.
Shut up.
I have a right to object, I believe, Your Honor.
You have the right to get held in contempt of court. And that's what's going to happen if you don't shut up. I'm not putting up with any of your crap here today. Your reputation has preceded you. Will you accept appointment on him as standby counsel?
Your Honor, I can. However, Mr. Blandino, after he spoke outside, wanted a little bit of time to speak to me in detail about his case and his desires, and then also to look into my background a little bit before he would agree.
He wanted to interview you?
Yes, sir.
I object to that laughing, Judge.
I object to you. I think the defendant has already categorized himself as a vexatious litigant.
I object.
You can object all you want.
Can I make a record?
No.
I've got a motion.
What did I just say? What did I just say? No.
I can't say anything.
No.
Blandino refuses to quit, to the point where others in the courtroom begin reprimanding him.
Shut up. Shut up. You're getting real close to getting remanded.
Blandino finally gets the message and agrees to meet with the court-appointed counsel.
Okay. Bye-bye. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. I think you're very impatient, though, sir.
Blandino remained under house arrest for extortion and impersonating a public officer. Next, we're in Miami, Florida, where Judge Nusheen Safie's about to recognize a familiar name on her bond hearing docket.
All right.
Johnny Ray Smith Jr. Oh my God.
These two have a storied history, and you're gonna hear all about it.
The same charges, that same baby mama, she did the same thing that the wife did. I left the house like you told me.
In a previous domestic case, Smith was convicted of criminal mischief, and Judge Safie advised that he leave the home where he'd been staying with the complainant. In that same case, Smith revealed to the court that he had fathered more than 30 children. And apparently still counting.
She had, remember she was pregnant and she had another kid, so I'm at 40 now.
40.
And that's your argument? Wait.
Bro needs a fucking condom. He needs to snip his balls. He needs to seek help. Because clearly he's fucking like a rabbit to produce 40 children. That's fucking insane. That's insane, bro. That's insane. 40. Fucking 40. 40. Bro, what the fuck?
That's your argument for you want me to let you out?
No, not that. No, listen.
His child support has to be like $20K. Dude. If not more. 40 kids. Oh, I can't.
Birth control lecture I gave you back when you only had 31 kids?
Listen to you, listen. I swear I listen to you. I just moved out. I stay on my own. I got a new girlfriend. That's what she mad about. But listen, I left. I never went back to the house. I never called.
You didn't listen to anything I said.
No, I did. I left. You told me to leave.
Also, no more kids.
Similar to his previous case, Smith's charges today include criminal mischief and burglary related to incidents involving another mother of some of his children.
Dude,
Don't
be a fool!
For a minute.
Okay, no problem.
Try doing that for 1 minute if you can.
All right.
As the judge...
Baby! Girlfriend!
Yes?
This guy has 40 kids!
Yeah, this is the 4th time I've heard this.
It's insane!
Goes through the case file, a public defender chimes in.
Your Honor's history with Mr. Smith and knowledge of Mr. Smith, as well as the allegations before the court at this point in
Just
time.
make it clear that my history with him is as a judge.
Mr. Smith.
You're not staying there, correct?
I did exactly what you told me. I left. No.
Mr. Smith, just
Ditched
answer
her with
yes
2
or no.
kids. Can I put him on vasectomy?
Please don't do it.
Judge Sapien doesn't have that kind of power, but she can take away his social life by placing him under house arrest using a tracking bracelet.
$1 a day for the bracelet.
You finna do me like that again? That was torture last time.
You're not gonna have to post a bond. You're gonna be on a bracelet.
Thank you.
Before they part ways, the judge also issues Smith a final warning.
If you come back with any other baby mamas, I'm gonna revoke your bond and keep you in jail. Condoms, use them.
Okay.
I am the living man whose mark is that of life.
That guy's mustache is immaculate.
Next, we're at the Gallatin County Courthouse in Bozeman, Montana.
The defendant, Ernie Wayne Tertelgit, he is not represented by counsel here today.
52-year-old Ernie Tertelgit is charged with obstructing a peace officer and resisting arrest after he was caught fishing without a license. The hearing is just underway.
Mr. Tertelgit has been charged with 2 misdemeanor offenses, which we'll be trying today.
I must object. I am not the name that he is referring to. I am the living man. The name that Mr. Riley refers to, ma'am, is held by the state in all capital letters and is identified by the state on the state's driver's license, ma'am. I am not the all capital fiction. I am the living man whose mark is that of life.
Tertelgit is representing himself today as the natural living man. It's his own interpretation of a sovereign citizen.
Mr. Tertelgit, you are not to interrupt Mr. Riley again.
Who can tell the living man in a commercial event such as this?
Sir?
Who has the right to tell the living man when he can speak and when he cannot speak, what sounds he can make and what sounds he cannot make?
You understand?
He is addressing British law, ma'am. He is a minister on behalf of Great Britain.
Great Britain? It seems this living man takes issue with the traditional British title of Esquire, being used in an American courtroom.
I'm going to hold you in contempt if you continue to disrupt this.
Ma'am, why, please give me an honorable answer, is a British recognized esquire asking questions in an American courtroom? Why is title of nobility applied behind this gentleman's name that is recognized as being banned from our country in the 1789 Constitution? Is nobody going to stand for our Constitution?
Tertelgit may not believe in courtroom formalities, but he does believe in interrupting. And Judge Wanda Drush has had enough.
Mr. Tertelgit, you'll be taken up to a jury room where we may watch the proceedings. I have reminded you
If I
twice
stand
now.
up, I give you recognition.
Bob, please stand up.
All right.
Stand up.
No,
Stand up.
pick me up. I cannot give you recognition. I'm constrained by the United States Constitution of 1789.
Before he's escorted out, Tertelget hurls a Yankee Doodle dandy of an insult at the prosecuting attorney.
Sir, you're a Bozeman native. What are you doing back in a British recognition? Should be ashamed of yourself.
Banned from participating, Tertelget can only watch the courtroom remotely, as his case is finally able to continue. The jury would eventually find him guilty, and although jail time is waived, he's ordered to pay more than $400 in fines.
Yeah, fair enough. That guy had a killer stash.
Meet Timothy DiMatteo.
Man used to go to a rock concert.
Oh boy.
The 34-year-old Florida rock musician was charged with petty theft and damage to property for allegedly trying to steal nutritional supplements from a store and then damaging items after he was caught. As Judge John Hurley kicks off the bond hearing,
Court finds probable cause.
he makes a request that will come back to haunt him.
Turn on the mic, please, somebody. Why do they keep...
Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
You know me, don't you?
No.
Before Judge Hurley can get another word in, this rocker breaks into a solo.
I was going to pick up my strips. They said it was a 45-minute wait for some reason. I'm walking around shopping. I go to the bathroom to take a piss and wash my hands, and the manager's in there waiting for me, thinking I'm shoplifting. I wasn't shoplifting anything.
No?
No. My first, second, third, fourth, 13th, 14th Amendment rights have been violated.
But it turns out this isn't the first time the defendant's been charged for stealing.
Your Honor, if I may, two things worth noting. Mr. DiMatteo was arrested September 14th of this year at a Mexican restaurant, where allegedly he ran up a bill for $256.26. He refused to leave or pay for his tab. Additionally, on September 29th of this year, he was placed on 18 months probation for grand theft.
As Judge Hurley checks on the details of the pending charges, DiMatteo can be seen growing more animated with the public defender. And when his mic gets turned back on,
Your Honor, sidebar.
Yes, he raises his hand and asks the judge for a sidebar.
Your Honor, sidebar.
Wait, no, stop.
Your Honor.
Stop. It's not your turn.
After being muted once again, DiMatteo decides to drum up some more attention.
Oh boy.
As the performance continues,
Mr. Miller?
Public Defender Dale Miller hangs his head and makes the executive decision not to unmute the defendant.
Mr. Miller?
I think he's trying to give him an opportunity to calm down, Judge.
Ultimately, the courtroom concert is cut short, and DiMatteo is forcibly removed by court security.
Please sit down.
Your Honor.
I'm not having two attorneys. Please sit down.
Timothy DiMatteo later pled guilty to the petty theft charge and was ordered to pay $293. The damage to property charge was dropped.
Your Honor, sidebar.
Sidebar.
We head to Gulfport, Mississippi. This is the Harrison County Courthouse. This is a 1997 Toyota Tacoma. And this is 28-year-old Keith Rio Cavalier. At 5:43 a.m., Cavalier illegally parked his red pickup right through one of the windows of the courthouse.
You know what? You got there in time.
At first, Cavalier seems to be stuck inside the truck. But then, here he comes through the window.
All right.
Fortunately, both he and his flip-flops appear to be okay.
Damn, why you gotta put him? Put it.
After taking a few moments to survey the scene, Cavalier stands there, cavalierly, and eventually walks away.
That's weird. All this is just weird.
Thankfully,
Man,
because
it's
it was so early on a Saturday morning, The building was closed and no one was hurt. Police arrested Cavalier shortly after the incident. When asked why he did it, well, he had a perfectly good reason. He said he was trying to contact the police about his stolen drug paraphernalia. And apparently he felt this.
So you're telling me that man ran into a building, right, with this truck. Obviously, it's a truck. Everybody that drives this truck is stupid, but runs into a building, right? So he can contact the police about people stealing his drugs.
Was the best way to do it. It is unclear whether Cavalier got his drug paraphernalia back, but he did pick up charges of malicious mischief and driving under the influence.
Bro, come on. That's stupid. Stupid.
Robert Stewart.
Dumb.
Hello, sir.
No.
Next, we go to Bond Court in Broward County, Florida. Judge John Hurley presiding. The defendant is 64-year-old Robert Stewart, who's charged with battery and violating an injunction to stay away from Ronald Stewart, his own brother.
There's a no contact order with your brother, allegedly, and they said that your brother said you ended up in his home after they had told you not to come around. So
the prosecutor, who's off camera, advises Judge Hurley of the details of the case.
Ronald Stewart was entertaining guests for the holiday. Robert Stewart attacked him by punching him in the chest, knocking him to the floor. The attack was unprovoked, which was witnessed by the two other guests. Ronald Stewart has a serious heart condition and is in fear that his brother Robert will continue to harm him. Defendant Robert Stewart admitted to the battery, stating that his brother Ronald wants too much from him.
Judge Hurley has all the information he needs and is prepared to set bond.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set your bond on count one at $2,500 based on the court's concern for the safety of your brother and your apparent willingness to violate a court order. You're going to be held without bond on count two, and the court will order no contact directly or indirectly with Ronald Stewart. You must stay 500 feet from him at all times. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
With a full docket still on his plate, Judge Hurley tries to keep things moving. But Stewart isn't finished.
I'm a Navy SEAL, sir. I'm a Navy SEAL.
I'm a Navy SEAL.
I'm a Navy SEal, sir. I'm a Navy SEAL.
And now he's curious.
Are you really?
Yes, I am, sir.
Where did
Retired 50 years.
Where'd you go to?
I went to Hofstra University, Kings Point, and then I went to Subic Bay.
A skeptical Judge Hurley decides to put Stewart to the test.
Wait, let me finish. Where did you go to SEAL training? There's only one place in the world you can go to SEAL training. Where's that?
Now on the spot, the self-proclaimed Navy SEAL struggles to come up with the answer.
Subic Bay.
No, you're wrong. That's not it.
Well, okay. Well, all right. Well, I did it for 50 years, so I knew everybody.
Okay, well, just tell me where you
I'm
went
50 years.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. It's Coronado, California, San Diego. That's the only place in the world you go to SEAL training.
All right, thank you. Very good weather there. I love it.
Stewart eventually pleads no contest and is sentenced to 210 days in jail with credit for time already served. When asked about Stewart's history, the Navy responded saying for security reasons they would neither confirm nor deny SEAL status. So Judge Hurley covers his bases just in case.
Good luck, sir. Thank you for your service.
Next, we're in Centerville, Michigan for a Zoom court hearing. Judge Jeffrey Middleton has many people to hear from today, including Nathaniel Saxon.
Me too, bro.
Judge Jeffrey.
Me too, bro.
Middleton has many people to hear from today, including Nathaniel Saxon, who's appearing on a drug paraphernalia charge.
Shit.
2 weeks earlier, police found a syringe containing methamphetamine residue in Saxon's truck during a traffic stop. Saxon's facing a possible 90 days in jail and a $500 fine. And he's not exactly getting off on the right foot with the judge.
Then we'll bring this fool in.
From the moment Saxon logged in, the judge noticed something he didn't particularly care for. The obscene screen name.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Me?
Yeah, you. Yes.
Nathaniel Saxon, sir.
Your name's not Butt3000, you yo-ho. Logging into my court with that as your screen name? What kind of idiot logs into court like that?
Saxon looks confused and horrified.
What's your name again?
Nathaniel Saxton, sir, but I don't believe that I typed anything like that in.
Well, that's what it says.
Saxon quickly fixes his name, but not soon enough to avoid a reprimand from the judge.
I'll put you in the waiting room. You can sit in limbo for a while and think about what you call yourself online.
A few moments later, the judge lets Saxon back in, and it appears he's gotten to the bottom of the screen name mystery.
Your Honor,
yes.
If I may explain, my sister was one that set up my Zoom account or whatever. That Butt Effer is my iPhone pairing name for my Bluetooth speaker, sir. It's an inside joke. It's not what you think. I'm embarrassed. I'm sorry.
Well, you should be. All right, we'll come back to you in a bit.
20 minutes later, Saxon pled guilty to possession of drug paraphernalia and agreed to pay a $200 fine. Judge Middleton told him he was lucky to have escaped the day's events without a contempt of court charge for that screen name.
Your name's not Butt3000, you yo-ho.
Thanks for being a fan of Court Cam. Subscribe to A&E to never miss.
Fun. All right. Got another couple of videos to do. So keep a lookout for those. Subscribe, like, do that shit. You fucking bitches. JK, I love you. Bye.